Hi everybody. I'm here to finish what I started last week, which is some signing for Stolas prints through Streamily, and finishing the VIP signings tonight. So you purchased a VIP and didn't see your name last week, I'll be signing it tonight. I feel like the music's a little loud. I'm going to turn it down. Hello, and welcome. Gonna finish up the VIP signings this week. If you purchased one on Streamily, hello, my outlets, hello. Thank you for coming back in some cases, and let's get started. Last week, I think we ended with Mason. He says, have a great 2024. Mason. Hello. Next we have Aiden Kraut. Try and draw a doodle version of Stolas. Try being the operative word, Aiden. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hi, how are you all? Happy Monday. Theater people know what I mean. Happy Monday. Alright, here's my doodle owl. It's not pretty, but it's the truth. Here you go, Aiden. Next we have Nicole. Favorite line from Stolas. Well, Nicole, everyone who's been here before has heard this one many times, but it's the one I always go to. Everything will be okay. Next we have Heather. Hello, Carly. That's for Heather. Next is for Alyssa. Hello. If your name is on the VIP list, and you didn't hear me sign for you last week, just like Alyssa, who's there, you'll be watching me sign this week. Next, we have Leanne. Could you please write, my dearest Leanne, I will never be far away from my special little starfire. Owl Daddy loves you. Hoot hoot. Dearest Leanne. All right, next we have Katie. Wants a funny quote. One of my favorite quotes I remember discovering Stolas' lower register from the first time, for the first time in the recording booth, was when he says, "People want our money and our bodies." Good, Katie. Okay, next is for Angela. My cosmic darling. My cosmic darling amidst celestial wonders. My love for blitzy blooms. You, my angel, radiate a light that transcends realms. At least I make myself laugh. Next is for Teresa. I do have to say what I always say on these things, which is I'm very grateful for all the support of this show and of me. You know, I do these signings aren't the easiest thing for me. I'm very much an introvert, but I do them because it helps support my family, and the parents out there know that that's the most important thing, ultimately. So I've really come to enjoy doing them, actually, especially at the cons, meeting people and getting to chat one-on-one. I always find this a little bizarre, but I don't want to seem ungrateful, because I am very grateful, and grateful for the support and for the opportunity to do this and help support my family and get to do what I love to do, which is make creative things in the world. So just wanted to say that while I sign this for Teresa, who always leaves them breathless. Next is for Belle. My favorite quote. I'm doing this quote on this print because it goes so well with the print, which I love. I will always look your way. Yeah, I'd love to come to Vancouver. If you're connected to a con that would like to have me visit, send me a DM and connect me. I can connect you to my representation, because I'd love to get to more places, especially if it's a place I've never been, like Vancouver or Spain, Barcelona in particular. I just saw my friend from Barcelona on the chat. So yeah, I'd love to get international as well. So if you have a connection and like to have me apply to your convention, please send me a DM and I'll follow up. All right, next is for Jolina. For Jolina, stars. For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream. That's a beautiful quote. And signed as Stolas as well. Am I going to Louisiana? My next con is in Lexington, and after that I will be in Minneapolis. Do I prefer a hug or a handshake? And I'll be in Vegas as well. You know, it depends on the day and the time. You know, I just feel like, just ask me and I'll let you know in the moment what I'm feeling. I usually don't mind a hug. Yeah, but just as a general rule, when you meet people at these conventions, I feel like it's probably just good to ask what they prefer, because everybody's a little different. Okay, next we have for Stanley. Here you are, Stanley. I've been watching episodes of this show called Love on the Spectrum. I don't know if you've seen it, but I saw Richard Horowitz in one of the episodes last night at a con in Pasadena. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what being at a con with Richard is like. I've learned so much from just watching him do this and interact with fans, and he couldn't be nicer. And if you've met him, you know what it's like to interact with someone who's been doing this voiceover work for so long. But it was cool I didn't know that he was in one of the episodes, and if you haven't seen it, Love on the Spectrum, I think it's really beautiful. Okay, this next one is for Akira. Akira Ryuzen, I hope I'm saying your name right. Next we have Drew. Hi, if you're just joining us, hi. I'm finishing my VIP signings from last week. I don't have a Stolas doll. I need to get one. It's for Drew. Next we have Dylan Wakefield Taylor. If you're out there, hello Dylan. Sabella cover in the next live. What, as Stolas? Yeah, that would be. I'd have to work on that. I am going to be singing. I just found out I'm going to be singing at with the Boston Pops Orchestra in July. So I'll be in Boston, and I'll also be at Tanglewood July 6th. I think Boston in June and Tanglewood in July. And I'll be singing some Gentleman's Guide there, so very excited about that. Thrilled to get to represent that show, and the great Stephen Lefbeck, who recently passed, who was the composer of that show. So be singing for Steve and for the show and for a job. So if you're in Boston and want to see some Broadway singing, June, I don't know the dates exactly off my head, but I think it's June 5, 6, and 7, maybe, with the Boston Pops, and then July 6th with the Pops at Tanglewood. Some amazing singers I get to share the stage with, so if you're around and want to hear me sing, I'll hopefully have my voice back by then, and I'll be singing, so. Okay, where am I? Dylan Wakefield Taylor. Yo, Dylan. Saw you second row in Little Shop a week ago. Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming to the show. And if you're in the second row, that means you're in the splash zone, which I refer to affectionately in the theater. You know, we stage actors, when we're on stage, we want to make sure everybody can hear the words. So that means, for me anyway, it means I'm very productive with my, how should we say, expectoration. And sometimes when the stage lights are there, you can really see it. And sometimes if you're in the first or second row, you can you can catch the odd bit now and then. So hope I didn't spit on you, but it was only so that you could understand the words. If I did, then no. Thank you for coming to the show, and thank you for supporting live theater and Little Shop of Horrors. We have a lot of fun doing the show, and it's always made better when the audience has a blast too. So it's great to have fans show up there and breathe some life into the show every night. So thank you. It's a privilege to do. Next we have Brooke. To my dearest Brooke, love, Stolas. Seeing some comments about SAC Anime. Yeah, I love being there. Thanks to everyone who showed up and made me feel so welcome. I really enjoyed that con a lot, and And I love being there with the rest of the Helluva crew as well. Okay, this next one is for Divin. Divin. I hope I'm saying your name right. Can you say something romantic, Stolas would say? Yes. Oh, Divin. I won't sing it because my voice is resting, but I love these lyrics from the newest song, Let Me Hold You, Keep You Close to Me, I Long to Hear Your Voice. Oh, Blitzy. What's to become of us? Oh my gosh. Almost done. I didn't have that many left. Okay. Next we have for Maddie. Very sweet but funny Stolas message, and also hoot hoot. Of course. Oh, Maddie, my dearest Owlette, come and save me. This is hell. Hoot hoot. Hi. Okay. Next is for Kayla. Oh, remember this song? For Kayla. Hi everybody. Thanks for saying hi. Okay. And shockingly, the last of the VIPs. Stephen Kerr. Had a doodle. You got it, Stephen. No apologies. No regrets. I just try not to think about it and draw. And that's why his head is enormous. My Owlette, like, doodle is like a Stolas bobblehead. That. My art teacher would be so ashamed. Well, that's the end of the VIPs, which is all I intended to do tonight. So spend a few more minutes looking in the chat for questions and things before I sign off. Stolas doodle. Yeah, I'll hang around for another minute or so to answer some questions. GalaxyCon, yeah, I'd love to come to GalaxyCon. Again, reach out in the chat if you have a connection, and that's something I can follow up on. Same with Fan Expo Boston, I'd love to come there. So, favorite line from Holiday Inn? Gosh, you put me on the spot there, but I know my favorite song from Holiday Inn is Blue Skies. And I love the lyrics of that song, so I'll go with that for now. My favorite musical to perform in? Gosh, Gentleman's Guide takes the cake just for all the reasons, but I'm really having a blast performing in Little Shop right now. It's a hard show not to get swept up in and love, and I love playing the role of the baddie. It's so fun. I didn't watch the Grammys. No, no. I was performing during the Grammys, so we were getting little tidbits backstage. But doing the show now with Darren Criss and Evan Rachel Wood. And they're both amazing. They just finished their first week with us, and they're already off to an incredible start as Seymour and Audrey. And both got incredible singing voices, and as you probably already know, are amazing actors. So we just feel very lucky to have them with us and to be doing the show. One of the great things about doing a show that has a long run is doing it with different people and getting to know different people along the way. So if you ever want to come back and see them, they'll be there through the end of March. I don't have any new projects at the moment. My dream role is a role that hasn't been created yet. I love creating new things. So I dream of something that I don't know about coming along and being something that really excites me and that I feel like I get to put my ownership on because I'm the first one to do it. Those are my favorite things to do, is create something new. So, and that would be a dream role, is something that's never been done before. Stolas' favorite musical? I don't know. What do people think? What is Stolas' favorite musical? Will I be watching the Super Bowl? Probably not, because we'll probably have a show during the game. But I'm sure somebody will be watching it in the dressing room, or I'll have it on in the dressing room and check on it from time to time. But I don't have plans for Valentine's Day yet. I'm sure we'll make something happen. But in my house, we're a one day at a time house, so we haven't gotten that far yet. Falsettos, yeah, maybe he would love falsettos. Stolas would. Stolas' favorite song? I don't know about that. I think it would be something beautiful, though. Something sort of beautiful and soft and introspective. Maybe that's just because I'm I'm the person who voices him, but I love the part of the reason I think this song is so powerful is because Stolas is singing it to himself. He's singing it to Blitz, but he's not performing for anyone. And I just love those sort of internal wrestling that goes on in the song. Is Preshow Tradition. Oh gosh, it kind of changes for every show that you're in. Right now I spend a lot of my existence a little more tired than I would like to be. So my pre-show tradition is that's because I have young kids and I'm up early. But my pre-show tradition now is doing a little 15-minute workout and trying to get my blood pumping. So I change it up every day and do some. Such a boring answer, but some yoga or some CrossFit or something just to wake up. One to 10, how much do I love my job? I would say I love my job a 9.5. Just leaving an extra half point there for something to get better. But I love doing what I get to do, and like I said earlier in the session and in the live, that I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to be able to support a family doing what I do. So it's not lost on me how hard that is and how lucky I am to be one of the ones who can do that. So for now anyway, I love what I do, and I love that it makes it possible for me to have a life. What would I do if I weren't an actor? I'd probably be I don't know. I'd probably be either trying to learn how to be a sustainable farmer or trying to learn how to advocate for causes that I believe in on a institutional level. So taking a job with an institution or a non-for-profit or something that had a cause that I really believe in. I think work doesn't feel like work when it's something you want to do. So I would look for that, but just in another field. And I say the farming thing sort of joking, but I've been loving, maybe it's because I'm in Little Shop, but I've been loving like learning more about planting things and wanting to plant more of my own food and try and cut down on how much plastic I leave behind in my wake of consumption from going to the grocery store. So if I can grow something in my garden without needing the plastic and it's good and it's probably cheaper, then that couldn't be bad. So yeah, I'd probably do something like that. Who would I voice if you could voice anyone in Helluva or has been? I mean, I'm voicing Stolas. That's who I would voice for sure. And I think all the other voice actors are so perfectly cast. I wouldn't imagine wanting to do any other role. Thank you, Nikki. That's very kind of you. What was your first Broadway musical audition? My first Broadway musical audition was for Billy Elliot, I believe. Yeah, Billy Elliot was my first Broadway audition. Didn't get it, but nor should I have. I people ask me a lot about advice, and one of my things I always say to people is whatever you want to do, if it's something difficult, if it's something that a lot of people aspire to do, but not everyone gets to do, and I would say Broadway fits that criteria. Anything like that, you're going to need patience, because I'm sure there's people out there who didn't have to be patient and got where you would want to be, but most people had to be patient and just had to have patience and persistence together. And so that's what I usually tell people, and that's certainly what I found to be true for me. I had to be patient and persistent, and that's why I didn't book my first Broadway audition, but I certainly tried to learn from it. So, life advice you want to share right now? I would use that advice in life too. To the two things I try to teach my kids, even though they're young. I'm trying to teach them what patience is. It's a hard thing to explain, patience. It's not natural. We have to learn it, and we have to practice it. When we want something, like, why can't I have it? That's sort of like how my kids feel. And so we have to learn that. It's a practice, and persistence as well. I think that's something you have to. I'm trying to teach my kids as well, is to be persistent with something when you don't get it the first time. You've never done anything before. If you've never done something before, why do you expect yourself to be able to do it the first time you try? Because you want it. But again, with my kids, I have to say, hey, try it again. Well, you didn't get it. Try it again. I think we have to practice that. So patience and persistence. That's my answer to whoever asked the life advice question. What's my favorite Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder song? I don't know. It changes. There's so many good ones. I certainly like Sibella in the second act. I think the best sort of like, I don't know, best is not the right word. I think the most, the biggest impact of a song in the show for me was the song Between the Doors that I had this print made of Stolas doing, which is called I've Decided to Marry You. It's sort of an example of when musical theater is at its finest, when the story and the characters and the music and the physicality all sort of collide into one irresistible moment that I just love doing it, performing it every night, and performing it on the Tony Awards. And I'll probably never do anything harder or more fun in my career. So I guess that's my favorite song. But there's amazing things to sing in that show, and including the patter songs, which are really difficult and lovely when you can get them right. Excuse me. Take a few more questions here before I hop off. Favorite convention moment? I always love just meeting people and hearing their stories and hearing how they connect to the show and how they connect to the character of Stolas or what Stolas means to them. And I meet a lot of fathers and their kids, or people who miss their dads, or people who are working on their relationship with their dads, and that just touches my heart and me, helps me create meaning out of this thing that we do. So, hello, Zach. I notice you. Thanks for being here. What do I like most about going to conventions? Oh, I think I just said it's meeting people and hearing what the show means to them, and I just love that. It fills me up with energy and gratitude. My major in college, I was a theater and communications double major, and then I went to grad school for acting. So, but in college, I was theater and communications. So I don't know what that means, other than you should study anything and everything when you're in college. Really, just soak up as much as you can and leave with a degree that means something to you, or that that looks nice in a frame. What has been most challenging while playing as Stolas in Helluva Boss? What has been the most challenging one? The most challenging has been making the character lovable and still keeping the gray area of prior to the scene where he asks for a divorce. He's being unfaithful in his marriage. So knowing that to be true, and yet also wanting to care for him and take care of him and try and understand what he's going through. And so I think that's been a challenge, but those are the type of challenges, if you're an actor, that you love. You love trying to find those mysterious parts of the human experience and explore them. And how can it be possible that a good person can do a bad thing? That's a delicious inquiry for me anyway. Do you think any of the dice quits? Oh, I missed the question. Sorry. Does the Stolas voice come naturally to you? Yeah, I guess it does. It does now. I've done it enough now that it can just sort of drop into it. My voice is, at the end of a long show, week of shows, so it's not very robust tonight, but Stolas can come out whenever he wants. And I don't, at this point I don't think too much about it, but at the same time in the booth, I really try and make sure it's the voice that we've created and that makes sense for the scene. And sometimes Richard says, hey, can you do it a little lower, a little higher here? And, it's nice to have somebody who can adjust you. Are you recording anything for Viv right now? Not at the moment, but I expect to be recording more soon. Most embarrassing moment on stage? I forgot my lines once in college and had to just close my eyes and cover my face until I remembered them. That was pretty embarrassing, and but ultimately one of those things that you have to learn from. And I remember what had caused me to forget my lines is because I had been taken out of the story, trying to make somebody specific in the audience laugh, a friend or something who was there that night, and I was trying to make an inside joke, and it just had no place in what I should have been doing, and so of course I forgot my lines, and that was my punishment in a way. So I learned a valuable lesson in that embarrassment. Seen clips of you recording for season 3. How's that going so far? Yeah, that's what the last thing I worked in the booth with Viv was some season 3 stuff, and I don't think we finished, but we certainly got some really exciting stuff down, and yeah, just super dense, amazing acting material that continually surprises me in this project, is getting to come in and play a role that is, you know, so fantastical in a way, but that has real teeth to it, and really enjoyable to act in a way that I don't always get to. So, did you think it was a good thing for Viv to change Stolas to make him less villainous? Well, obviously I do, just because that's what I did. And if I didn't agree with it, I probably would, you know, try to push back. But I don't think the most interesting villains, or the most interesting, like, baddies are the ones that you get to know, and then you kind of can't decide how you feel about them. That's just, I like watching characters like that, you know. I think that's why Breaking Bad was such a successful TV show, because you couldn't believe you were rooting for this guy doing terrible things, you know. And even Gentleman's Guide, you know, I played a character that killed his family. I was a serial killer, and yet the audience is cheering for him to get, you know, to win, to succeed in his quest. So I don't know. There's something about that it's obviously a musical comedy as well, but I just I like that, and I like that challenge. So yeah, I was happy to try and make Stolas more lovable, knowing that, you know, he's also in a tricky situation, and has got some stuff to own up to. So yeah. Well, thanks everyone for your questions, and for spending a little more time with me tonight, and for your kind words in the chat. I do read them all, and I couldn't possibly respond to all of them, but just sending so much love and thanks for again, for supporting me, and for supporting the show, and for taking the time out of your days or nights or afternoons or wherever you are, and sending a little love my way. I return it to you, and I hope whatever you're going through, it gets easier, and if you're riding high, enjoy. And I'll see you next time, either on this medium or at a convention or somewhere else in the world. I hope we can connect in that way. But for now, thanks for this, and these prints should be in the mail in the next week. So if you're a VIP and you didn't see yourself signed, check back for my archive last week, and I'll also put this in my archive as well. And thank you all. Take care of each other, and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. Stolas loves you. Hoot hoot!